day to you viewers, the Colonel speaking to you live from the Grange, British Imperial YouTube Broadcasting Network. His Master's Voice Record B9194, Celia the Centipede by Ronald Frankau, Monologue. Here we go. No Monte Crick then.
Well, Ronald, these are certainly stirring times.
No, I can't quite agree with the shortage of sugar. I don't think you can call them stirring times.
Which reminds me, what are you to that very lovely girl I saw you dancing with the other evening?
Well, since the war, I've been her saccharine daddy. Monty, do you know what the girl said to the sailor?
No, I don't want to.
That's right. I must tell you the sad story of Celia the Centipede.
Must you?
Yes, I must.
Do then.
Yes. Celia was a very fine lady centipede with 51 pairs of legs, which meant that she had 102 legs instead of the unusual 100. She was rather proud of this, continually went about giving her handicap as +2. It was this swanking that probably led to her fate, because pride comes before you leap. Well, one day Celia was legging it to catch an early worm. As you know, people in glass houses shouldn't throw rolling stones, when without any warning whatsoever, or even at all, an obviously demented bluebottle hurled himself at her, and having bowled her over, bit off Celia's 78th leg, which was the one on the near side of her 39th segment. Now, by the time Celia had righted herself, the mad bottle had buzzed off into the blue again. Well, Celia walked sadly homewards. Sudden amputation had a distinct effect on her gait, and she could not disguise her limp from jeering passers-by. The mental strain was awful. More especially, she was in an interesting condition, and even her husband's sympathy did little to compensate her for the loss of her second favourite limb. The 23rd leg, which is on the near side of her 12th segment, was her favourite, being slightly more shapely than the rest. Well, it was not long after this had happened that Celia became the proud mother of a large litter, or covey as it is called, of centipedettes, about 30 of them. They average roughly 94 legs each, so that they had 2,820 legs between them. Her husband couldn't tell her this, however, as just before their arrival, Celia had widowed herself in a fit of hunger. Now, Celia had heard a lot about inherited tendencies in her time, prenatal influences and all that sort of thing. In fact, her own grandfather on her mother's side had the same number of legs as she originally possessed. And, of course, she'd heard the famous story, too, of the large tarantula lady spider who, having eaten a duckling, gave birth to children with webbed feet. Well, the result of all this knowledge was that Celia was terrified lest any of her own little ones should lack a leg. This meant that Celia, a notably bad mathematician, had to count roughly 2,820 legs, with a constant dread lest there should be only 2,819, or less. Her worry, concentration, and the incessant wriggling of the kids, who refused to stay still while they were counted, brought on brain fever of the worst kind, and Celia the Centipede died just as she reached the 1,959th leg, which was on the off side of the 15th segment of the 18th child. So she was one down at the turn.
I don't get it.
Oh. Well, I'll tell you again. Celia was a very fine lady centipede with 51 pairs of legs, which meant that she had 102 legs instead of the unusual 100. She was rather proud of this and continually went about giving her handicap as +2.
Well, there we are, viewers. I don't know how he got away with some of that at that time, but he did. Hope you enjoyed it. Thank you and goodbye.